Hello friends, welcome to C Sharp Intermediate to Advanced tutorial. Now we are starting a new sub-series, and in the sub-series we are going to look at frequently used C Sharp project properties. First we will talk about the sample application preparation. Here we are going to use two projects. One is class library DLL project, and another one is a exe project that consumes the DLL. So there are totally two binaries. So with these two projects, so that's what we are going to do here in the preparation. Then with those two projects, we will start learning about DLL reference. That means what project settings we will do so that we can refer this DLL inside the exe project. Then how do we change the assembly information? Then we will look at setting an icon for the exe so that when the exe is displayed in the Windows Explorer, we will see the associated icon. Next, we will talk about the compiler switch. So this is nothing but a conditional compilation. So we will see how to set a switch so that a specific piece of code will be included in the compilation based on this switch setting. Then in part 6 we will see how to handle the error and warnings. Then we will look into pre and post build events. So these are all some of the script you we can say a placeholder to run the script. Say for example, you can attach a batch script, so that batch script can run before the build process begin. We call that as pre-build, then post-build after the build process. Finally, we will look into debugging the DLL without having the source code for the consuming exe. That means we should have exe, but we don't need to have a exe source code. Alright, now we will go to the preparation part. So first we will create a simple math DLL project. When we go to demo, you will see how to create the project. Once the project is created, we will expose a function called add2numbers. And if you see, the function is simple. It takes two parameters, first and second. Then here we just return the added result. Of course, we declare some internal variables, then we will return that. So simply we can make a return statement with the first plus the second, but here just for demo purpose we are making use of local variable and returning it. So this is the DLL project. The DLL project name is a simple math, and this will produce a DLL called simple math.dll, and this DLL exposes only one function, add two numbers only. Alright, so now we will create this project. So here we are using Visual Studio 2005 IDE. Yes, it's a pretty old IDE, but you can follow the same steps in your modern IDE also, whether you are using 2012, 15 or even the latest 17 community edition. Alright, now let me click on File, New, Project. So now our goal is to create class library project. So this will generate the DLL output. So I just picked the folder, or okay, here we are choosing the name for our project. So we are giving project name as sample math, and the project template type is a class library. So Visual C# project. So by default, this is giving name as class 1. We can change that class name. So let's keep it as SMath. I'm renaming the file name also. Okay, let's do a rebuild just to make sure nothing is collapsed by this name change. So build is succeeded. Now we will write our math function. So this is our project namespace, sample math. Inside that we are creating a class called SMath, and this SMath class contains a function called add two numbers. And if you see, this returns integer and accepts two integer as parameter. Also, you have to note that the scope is public so that the function can be accessed outside this class. So after this, now if you see, we are just declared two local variable. So this is just for demo purpose, as already told in the slide. We can simply return first plus second, but we put some internal local members. This is for debugging purpose. Later we can put a breakpoint at different statement. There are 4 statements here, right? So this is just for demo purpose. Anyhow, now we have a DLL project, and the DLL project contains a class called SMath, and the SMath class exposes a public function add two numbers. Now if I see, when I build the project, build rebuild solution, in the output you can see that it delivered a DLL. So this is the location we chose when we created the project. Sample math is our namespace name. Then inside bin folder debug, we have a sample math.dll. So that's the name of the project, as well as namespace also created on the same stuff. All right. Now we will go back to the slide. So next we are going to create a mathuser project. That's a exe project. This exe project will consume the DLL which we created previously. So if you see here, we simply construct the SMath. Before that, if you see, so this is our DLL project, and it contains a class called SMath, and this SMath is having add number function, right? So that's why here, if you see, we are creating SMath instance. When we go to demo, we will see how to use reference and other stuff. So for now, we are just looking at the source code explanation. New SMath, then here also we have two internal member n1 n2, then result. Then from the UI, so this is a Windows application. In the Windows application we will have two text field. So we are taking a text box 1 number and text box 2 number, and after parsing it we are storing that in n1 and n2. Next, if you see here, we already created obj instance. So this instance is from our DLL project SMath. So we created the instance of the object obj. Then we are making call of obj.add two numbers, and the numbers n1 and n2 are passed from our Windows form project. We take the input from to text field. We parsed it already. Then we are passing it to the add two numbers. So here is the dot. So add two numbers will return a number, and that number we are converting it to string. Then we are storing that in label control, label result.txt. So that's what we are doing here. And if you see here, this math user is the consuming ex. Mathuser.exe will make use of this sample math.dll. So in the next video, we will see how to use this DLL, that means a sample math.dll, and consume that in the exe project. When we do so, we will also look at the very first property, build output path, as well as how to set reference to the project. So demo we will see in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.